Welcome back to the FFS podcast, for finance's sake, or finance fun and shenanigans. I'm Rachael Chadwick Harrison, your host, accountant, MD of Chadwick Accountants, and professional party pooper when it comes to bad tax decisions. Today's episode, Tax Traps and Tangled Tales, what you don't know will cost you. And joining me is Beth Davis, our secret weapon. She's the only person at Chadwick's with absolutely zero tax knowledge, which makes her the perfect person to be our civilian canary in the tax coal mine. Hi, Beth.
Hi, listeners.
Thank you very much for joining us, Beth. So let's talk tax trap number one. So picture this. You're running a lovely little business. You're smashing it. The money's coming in. The clients are happy. You're living the dream. But you're not tracking that turnover properly. You're not chatting with your accountant. You may not even have an accountant. You're not registering for VAT, even though you're quietly snuck past that 90k threshold. You've completed your first year's trading, but the tax return's not due for another 9 months, so you carry on. And when do you finally clock on to this? Oh, around December, when everybody starts talking about tax returns due in January. Think, oh yeah, I need to do that. The Christmas lights go up and the panic sets in. So, Beth, as the non-tax professional in the room, what do you think the tax trap is here?
Not getting in touch with an accountant sooner?
Pretty much a great answer, yes. Bang on, or almost. So, not only are you now facing a shock VAT bill, you've got to do a backdated registration. That means paying VAT on all the sales you made since you breached that threshold. And unless you've kept every receipt and invoice, reclaiming VAT on expenses is going to be an absolute nightmare. Had you known ahead of this, you may have changed your pricing. You may have saved some money to pay the bills, but you didn't. Oh, and just when you're scraping yourself off the floor, HMRC knocks on with a January surprise double bubble. First year of self-employment, they'll also ask for this year's tax and half of next year's too. Suddenly that dream business, not looking so dreamy.
Yeah, this is something a family member of mine has actually experienced. Yeah, getting that dreaded bill and obviously over years having to have massive chunks taken out of the wage to pay back. So definitely you need to get the advice.
So tax trap number two. Right, a little bit of a story time for you. I know of someone, shall we say friend of a friend. Let's call her Brandy. She doesn't have a typical 9 to 5. She, let's say, entertains gentlemen. One particularly generous gent takes her on a month-long trip, all expenses paid, and at the end, he gives her £10,000 as a thank you for accompanying him. True story. She's buzzing. She's saying this is the deposit on her first house. That's what she wants to do with it. So, Beth, what do you think the tax traps here could be?
I guess, yeah, obviously it will be classed as it should go on your self-assessment. You need to declare it. Obviously, yeah, it'd be nice to have a nice 10k in your bank, but from a friend, should we say? But yeah, like I said, it later down the line, it can come back and bite you.
Absolutely right. HMRC doesn't care if you call it a gift. If it quacks like income and it waddles like income, guess what? It's taxable. And if you haven't declared it, well, that's tax evasion. That's a crime. Full stop. Don't do that. But here's the killer blow. Try explaining that 10k gift to the mortgage lender when you've got no declared income. And who's giving a mortgage to someone with no income? Yeah, that house you want, yeah, good luck with that. It's not just about the tax man, it's about how this stuff screws up your financial life.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. You need to have an income. Obviously, why would they lend you money for a mortgage? You can't just rely on gift aids from a sugar daddy.
So finally, tax trap number 3. The budding entrepreneur launch a business. They're coasting. Year 1 goes well, money's coming in. They're feeling flush. They enter year 2. Think there's a nice amount of cash here. I'm going to buy a shiny new van. Maybe I'm going to sign up for a shop lease. But they haven't filed their accounts for the first year. Haven't saved a penny for corporation tax. They're not ready. And they're just thinking, oh, it's not due for ages, these first set of accounts. What do you think the tax trap is waiting here, Beth?
A massive bill from HMRC.
Absolutely. So they've spent the taxman's money, really, haven't they? When those accounts finally get done, it turns out a chunk of that cash is in the bank. It wasn't theirs. It's HMRC's. But now it's been sunk into assets, leases, and it's in the following year, so you can't claim it against this year's profits. But I see this constantly with clients who come to us way too late. By the time we break the bad news, it's a scramble to find cash, or worse, they get into debt just to pay tax on the money that's already gone.
Okay, so yeah, going back to again, this is why obviously you need to talk to an accountant and be sure that you're purchasing or spending money at the right time of the year, and obviously putting stuff aside. Again, cash that isn't technically yours to spend.
Excellent advice from our non-tax professional here at Chadwick's. So Beth, after all that, what's your takeaway from our little trip through Tax Trap Town?
Don't bury your head in the sand. Don't think that you have the best knowledge or just listen to a mate down the pub. Always seek financial help. Accountants are there for a reason. And, just the same as us, they don't want HMRC to obviously have what they shouldn't have off of you. They're there to help you out. So
Beautiful. It doesn't matter how clever you think you are, tax isn't about smarts. It's about being prepared. Talk to your accountant early, and if you don't have one, well, you know where to find me. Till next time, I've been Rachael Chadwick Harrison. This has been the FFS podcast, and remember, in tax, what you don't know will cost you, and what you ignore might just bankrupt you.
hi everyone, just a quick note from us. For finance's sake, it's taken a short break over August, but don't worry, we'll be back in your ears on Tuesday the 19th of August. In the meantime, it's the perfect chance to catch up on any episodes you've missed or re-listen to your favourites. Thanks so much for listening and supporting the show. We'll see you soon.